Welcome, everyone, to the Thamasa review. Okay, as you know, when I do the Narsh review, it's in order of appearance, and when I do the Thamasa review, it's in order of their rating overall. Let me remind you of how I rate them. It's on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being absolutely useless, and 10 being totally essential to our team. So, that being said, I have a lot to say in this review. Let's start with our top-rated character, Floyd. Oh my god. Holy crap. Solid 10, dude. I don't even have to explain why, but I will. Number 1, really cool sprite work. I really like that sprite. I still don't know who it is. I don't know what the portrait is from, although it looks very familiar. I know he's some kind of a Dark Knight. That's all I know. Now, our limit. Okay, so let's talk about this skill. Our limit is random desperation attacks. So Star Prism, Tiger Break, Riot Blade, Spinning Edge, Backblade, and all of Mirager, all of the desperation attacks of all characters in the game. Okay, so you pop our limit, it's a single target attack, but oh my god, does it do amazing damage. It pierces defenses, it does fucking thousands of damage, and it's non-elemental. So yeah, our limit, maybe the best skill I've ever rolled in a Beyond Chaos seed. And here's the problem. Here are the downsides to Floyd, and there aren't really a lot. And the number one downside I can say is our limit is so good that it doesn't even matter that he has dance. Like, I can't foresee a moment where I would want to pick dance, even though the dances are amazing. The ones he's got, we got H-Bomb in them, we've got Wild Bear, we've got all kinds of cool stuff in all those dances. But there's no reason to not pick our limit in battle. It's always going to be good. If it's not good, it's going to be like Soul Saber or Star Prism, right? So it's going to be just, instant kill attack, rather than just damaging. Those are the only dead skills you can really get, and they're still not dead. So yeah, there's really no reason to never use our limit. And so dance is kind of a moot point. Same with magic. I mean, maybe later magic might be helpful, of course, depending on what he can learn from other espers, but right now I think he's only getting like bio and W Wind and stuff, I think. So not really that helpful. But yeah, our limit's just too good. This character is so cool and so good. And I really do think he just bumped Maria down a tier from the best character we've ever rolled. But regardless, Floyd is a solid 10. Now let's move on to his granddaughter, who I'm going to say is a 9. Now the reason that she's a 9 is because her magic power isn't as good. She only has access to one desperation attack, despite the fact that it's Riot Blade and it's going to do a ton of damage anyway. We haven't, it's not like we haven't seen Riot Blade before. That's a problem. That's another reason that she got a bump down, is because, God, the last 2 seasons we've seen plenty of Riot Blade. Get off me, stink bug. We have seen plenty of Riot Blade. In this version, it does Riot Blade, then casts Safe on the enemy. So that's kind of a drawback, but at the same time, we're doing so much damage with it, Safe doesn't even matter. Then she has Capture, which Capture isn't the thing about her that's that good, outside of Riot Blade. She can equip, I think it's the fake mustache or something, I forget what it was, that changes Capture into El Nino, which is an AoE attack. There you have it. And she can learn magic, and she's a veteran from the collateral damage Ladies' Night Out scene. So, welcome back, Elena. You're really, really good. Again, only this time you're not actually quaking the world around us and killing us too. But yeah, Elena's definitely a 9. And the other thing that makes her drop is her HP is just god-awful. Just terrible. but hopefully that changes. So yeah, these two, the latest characters that we got, ended up being the best characters that we have, and that rarely happens. Very rarely happens. Alright, let's move on to Rydia. Rydia is our Berserker. Now, I made some comments about how I think, and I still do think, that it's lame that you can roll fight on your Berserker. I think you should always get a command instead of fight, because fight's just boring, right? What makes her the next one down from these two powerhouses is that, number one, Berserkers are always going to be strong. They're always going to be strong. Number two, we have a Rage Ring and a Blizzard Orb right now. So, you know, it just makes the perfect Berserker. So the Rage Ring, if you don't know, lets you tackle and throw people at the enemy, which does a lot of damage. And then her Blizzard Orb, the Blizzard Orb in these randomizers randomizes its attack. It's not always going to be Storm, it could be something different, and most of the time it is. I've had it be Shrapnel, I've had it be Quasar, and in this case, it's Flare, for free. So, yeah, she's throwing out a single target, non-elemental damage, strongest magic power attack in the game, for single targets, and yeah, and she's tackling and throwing people, and yeah, so Rydia is just great. Can't see a reason not to keep her around on a team. Yeah, she's just really, really good, and I would put her at an 8. So we've got 10, 9, 8 going down the list. Then, these guys, as far up as these guys are on the pedestal, we drop down quite a bit starting here. So, let's take a look at Mantis. Okay, so Ice Beam Jump, not the best, right? Still haven't really found much use for them. But he can equip an Esper, I forget which Esper. He can equip an Esper that's teaching him curing skills. We don't have much healing on our team, which we need. And Mantis has decent enough magic power to make good use of. So, there's that. And that's basically why he's next down after these guys, because he has our healing. Which I never thought he'd be our healer, but, you know, there you have it. But, yeah, that being said, I'd put him at, like, a 6, right? So it goes down from an 8 to a 6. Not a huge drop, but significant enough drop to just show you how much better these characters are than even our next best one. Alright, dropping down to Drogan. Okay, here is the reason why Drogan is tied with Mantis, right? So, he hasn't been that great. Really, he's just been equipping 2 Tempests, swinging, and proccing Wind Slashes, which has been pretty good. It was alright in the Magitech facility, I guess, even though the Magitech facility was balls awful. What really makes him good is the fact that these characters are so good, is because he has Mimic. So if he's on a team with them at any point, and they do Riot Safe or our limit, I can just mimic it, and suddenly Drogan is just as good as they are. That's the only reason why he's not ahead of Mantis right here. I guess he would be up above Mantis if they're tied, just with the slight edge, just because he can mimic these two. So, yeah, he's also a 6 along with Mantis, and that's basically it for Drogan. Okay, so Stray. Fury Cat, basically. Still good, still has Blitz. Blitz is just good. And it's good enough to edge out the rest of the characters. I'd put Stray probably at a 5. He's not incredibly good, but again, just Blitz is very good, and it'll be good all game. Like, that's not a skill that's going to have, you know, diminishing returns as we go. It's always going to be good. So yeah, he's solidly at a 5. Alright, Swole, our main character, our big guy. He is still pretty good. I'd put him at a 5, tied with Stray. He's got Throw, and in his magic list he's got Cure 3 that he learned naturally, which is another healing spell. Although he can't cast it that many times, he can cast it enough times to be useful. And yeah, Throw is another one of those skills that's going to be good all game, because we'll get nothing but better stuff to throw as we progress. So yeah, Swole is definitely at a solid 5 here with Stray. Okay, moving on. Here we have Heath. Heath got quite the bump down from the Nurse review. And here's why. So, the reason we were keeping Heath around mostly is because El Nino is a nice sweep attack that hits all enemies. It was for free, it was doing pretty decent damage, what have you. Just pretty dang good skill in general to have. Everything else was very middling with him. You know, what he could equip. Our white is bad, as we've discussed before. It's just a random white magic skill. You can't depend on it to give you something that you really need in the moment. You would basically have to use a lot of turns in a row casting our white before you get anything that's even kind of helpful most of the time. Magic, I don't think he still has any espers he can equip, sadly, so nothing there. And the reason he got this giant bump down, even though he has El Nino, is because our second best character, Elena, can equip something that changes her capture into El Nino. So we basically have a better character just with Riot Blade, and then we give her El Nino and make Heath irrelevant. You know, so yeah, Heath got a pretty big dump taken on him from Elena, but so did everyone else. So there you go. That being said, I'd put Heath at a 4. He's still pretty good, but not good enough to compete with the higher level folk. Alright, Caster. Caster still is not amazing. The only thing he's here for is W Ragnarok if we want to try and get stuff. He's not really doing damage. He doesn't have a magic command. His magic power is 45, which is nice, but still not doing much. He's imp harvesting. But yeah, he's basically just there for W Rag. And that's it. While that skill is really, really useful for beefing us up and getting us better stuff, it's not doing damage, so he's not really that good of a character, which is why I'd put him at a 3, sadly, because I really like Caster. I like his sprite, I like that he came back from a previous seed, but yeah, he's just chilling on the airship, waiting to pull out his frickin' sword and help us. But as for right now, he's not doing much. And our final character, Martha. She is god-awful. She's just Locke, only worse. Does not have Locke's equip scheme. Can't equip anything great. Steel and magic. The magic she can learn, from what I could tell, what I remember, was not great. Yeah, she is just a flat-out boring, bad character. And we're gonna have to be stuck with her in the World of Ruin. Yay. So, either way, I would definitely put her at, I'd have to say a 2. It's gotta be, I don't think it's a 1. She's not completely useless. She can do some stuff, but you know what? No, that's a 1. She's a 1. Her best option is to fight, which makes her really, really bad. So yeah, she's a 1. She's at the low end of the spectrum. When compared to our 10, oh my god, just awful. So there you have it. That's the Thamasa review ratings for the characters. Now let's talk about the seed a little bit. So, the Magitech research facility is where the difficulty ramped up. Like, it came out of nowhere, and it's like, yeah, this Magitech research facility is not going to be your typical Magitech research facility. You're going to get wrecked by everything. You're going to have to fight a number 24 that is ice rabbiting like crazy. Just all the regular encounters were hard. Just, it was very, very difficult going through there. And then after that, of course, we get to Thamasa, and we get this amazing character, just the greatest character that I've ever had. And then the game's like, oh yeah, because we decided to just give you this amazing character, we're gonna make this the hardest burning house you've ever played in. The hardest burning house you've ever done, too. So, yeah, the pigs throwing out fire beams and bolt threes. Oh my god. That was so hard to get through. The Flame Eater wasn't even the problem in the battle with the Flame Eater. It was the frickin' pigs. And I had to reset so many times. I died so many times going through there. It was just so hard. And we made it through. And then I'm so freaking glad that I ran out and I saved after that, because I was so certain that whatever was in the Memento Ring spot was going to be a monster in a box. I'm like, even if it's not a monster in a box, I want to go save just in case. Because, holy crap, I'm not doing that house again. I go back in, it's a monster in a box, it's the damn presenter. So, yeah, if I'd have gone over and grabbed that treasure like I normally do right after the house, I would have been really, really mad, because the presenter wrecked us. And now we're about to head to the floating continent. Who knows what we're in for there? It could be just as bad. I think the seed from here on out might get progressively harder. Well, not progressively harder, but like in your face harder, just because of these characters we got. Also, something that came to my mind after I recorded the last episode. So you remember the flag I told you about, the desperation flag that I put in for the seed, and suddenly I get R Limit and Riot Blade. That's making me think that maybe my initial thought that the flag just makes it more likely for you to get desperation attacks when you're on low HP is not the case. I think it might be that it's more likely to get desperation attacks as commands. If that's the case, I'm really upset, because I thought I'm thinking that I just got really, really lucky with these characters. Like, holy crap. But if that's what that flag does, you can expect me to never put it on again, because that's kind of hacks. But I think I need to do some research and actually find out what that flag does. If that's what it does, I'm real upset. If it's not, and I just random these out of the blue, that's even better. So, regardless of all that, we're going to the floating continent, we're going to the world of ruin, we're going to see this one through to the end, as we always do, and yeah, dude, Floyd's going to wreck some crap on the way up there. Holy shit. Thanks, you guys, for checking out the Thamasa review, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.